Alright, so this is going to be a demonstration of Design Project 4. So the way this was set up was we had to fill in the CS encryptor, which is comprised of a data path and a controller. So we were already given the data path, and then we had to implement the controller and basically have it loop through just different states and manipulate this data path to kind of work with what state we're dealing with. How I started was I started with a finite state machine, just using pen and paper. Kind of thought about all the different cases that it could go through and how I could manipulate the data path to check for different things, like if it goes out of different ranges. And the way that I have it set up is that it checks for different cases. When it finds an output state, it basically gives the correct output, and then it waits for another character to be pressed. Alright, so the way I designed my controller was I have two ROMs. This top ROM is controlling the next state, so it's taking in these values from the data path and then cycling through the different states. This one is my output ROM, where it takes whatever state it's in and gives the correct output. And the way I designed those was for the top one, I basically made a huge spreadsheet and just kind of found out all the hex values and filled it in. And then same goes for the bottom one, which is a little bit smaller and easier to do. Alright, so let's see it in action. So I'm going to start out with just 2 kilohertz with no key. So anything I type in the keyboard should just go through. So you can type in keyboard and it just goes through. So let's try it again with a key value now. So now anything I type should be right shifted by 1. So an A should be a B, C should be D, D should be E. So I can type in keyboard and it just gives me, looks like gibberish. Alright, so that's if it doesn't need a circle shift. So if it goes out of the boundaries of the ASCII table, then it should basically shift back into the range that I want it to be. So let's give it a bigger key. So just give it biggest key. So now anything I do is going to go out of the range. So I can type things in and it's still going to give me a value. And it may not look like much, but it's actually giving the correct output based on whatever key I press. So it basically cycles through once and then cycles through again and gives me the correct right shift. Alright, so let's see it in action with a slower clock. So let's just go 512. No key. So everything should still work, right? And I can type fast and it still works. Slow it down again. So half that, and then I can type in pretty fast, and everything passes through like it should. So yeah, that was Design Project 4. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.